Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and as always, every week we are delighted to be joined by Padma Shri Dr. Subir Parikh. Dr. Sir, welcome. Namaste.
Namaskar, namaskar.
And first of all, I want to begin by greeting you on the special 21st June International Day of Yoga. Talk to me 7 years down the line, awareness about yoga and being a physician yourself, how important you consider observing this day?
I think yoga, International Yoga, 7th International Yoga Day, it's a great achievement by our Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi, because I remember I was a part of that United Nations meeting. I was as a part of the audience, and when he declared this thing and 170 countries joined with him to celebrate every June 21st as an International Yoga Day, that was a great moment, and I think and I believe that he is real responsible to increase the awareness of the yoga. Obviously, yoga was there before 7 years, but yoga was a kind of not much a part of the day-to-day life of the common people, and therefore I think he has done a great service to the mankind. And as a doctor, I believe in yoga. I personally do the practice yoga every day, and I think it's a very good exercise, stretching exercise, and it's good for all the organs of the body. And I think everyone should do it, and start with your day with that, and you will see that how much energetic you will feel whole day.
Beautiful. Coming from your own experience, also, it makes a lot of sense. And let us also look at another seven number in the context of Prime Minister Narendra Modi having completed 7 years of leading the nation. When you look back, as per your expectations, where would you rate Prime Minister Modi as leader leading a country like India as Prime Minister? You are satisfied, less satisfied, or there were more expectations which he couldn't
No, I'm
fulfill?
very much satisfied. I think the best thing happened to India is that Narendra Bhai Modi becomes Prime Minister of India, because India needed a person like him who is very visionary, who has very smart, who knows where to help, who knows how to get the help from the people, and he knows the pulse of the people. And when any leader who knows the pulse of the people can always be a very successful. And I think he has done such a great work in last 7 years that we all should be kind of indebted to him for his great work for our motherland India.
Talking about his great work and looking at some of the important landmark decisions as well as approach with which Prime Minister Modi led. And if I briefly take you back to initial days when he was known as someone who has toured so many countries, and he was criticized for being more outside India than inside India. But looks like that was the right approach to lay foundation of international relations. And how do you see him as ambassador of India, connecting India to several countries, world leaders?
I think he's a perfect ambassador of the India to the world. And what he did in the beginning by traveling to different countries, meeting the different leaders, he introduced himself and he introduced the India in the right perspective to the world. And I think it's a great service to the India.
Now, from that point of view, India's relationship with several countries also resulted into increase of direct foreign investment in India. And what we were hearing from him about 5 trillion economy of India, uh, probably we couldn't move that in that direction at a fast pace for several reasons, including COVID. Yet, how do you rate Modi government as far as the economic growth of India is concerned?
Well, I mean, India is doing very well. is more than expected, and India is moving upward and forward. And I have seen the India's economic journey right from 60s to now, almost 60, 70 years. I witnessed that. And I can see that when we left India, government did not have in 68, 69, 70, government did not have any foreign exchange. And we were allowed to take only $8 to go to India. And so now there is no restriction how much foreign exchange you can get when you leave the India for study or for business or for or as a tourist. And that shows that how India came long way from 1969 to today. And India is really progressing well. India's economy is the third largest economy in the world, and it's not too far from the China or even USA. Obviously, it is little far, but I think India will achieve that $5 trillion economic goal, not next year, but maybe in the next 4 to 5 years.
So that's another positive sign. And let us look at internal dynamics of India under Prime Minister Modi in the sense of centre's relationship with states. Do you see there should have been a different approach, or the way it has evolved with a position in some of the states not in sync with the central leadership? Your thoughts on this aspect?
Well, I think Prime Minister is trying to really stick to the true spirit of the federalism or federation of states. And luckily, our constitution has a very clear-cut demarcation between what's the rights of the state and what's the rights of the center. And I think yes, not only I think, but Prime Minister does follow that guideline and makes all the state equally importance, and he does time to time the consultation with the chief ministers of the states and other officers. And therefore, I think he's really stick to the federalism of the India and respects that federation of the India and federation of the state.
Absolutely. And in this context, I'm also reminded of a landmark historical decision taken by Modi government, where abrogation of Article 370 turned out to be a game changer in checking terror activities, as well as opening up the doors of development for residents of Jammu and Kashmir. But as our viewers are connecting with you through this show on Wednesday, on 24th June, there is a proposed all-party meeting with J&K leaders, which Prime Minister has initiated. What can you expect, and what do you think is the current thought process of central government with respect to J&K at the moment?
I think on 24th, as I know that Prime Minister has invited all the parties concerned, almost 17, 18 different parties into that meeting. And I'm sure that meeting's main agenda will be give the Jammu and Kashmir a statehood. So that way, by giving the statehood, always the administration of that territory becomes very easy, and it becomes more democratic, and it becomes more people's will be having more say into it. And therefore, I think once they get statehood, I'm sure eventually everybody will be very happy. In the beginning, there might be some resistance, but that's politics, and we don't have to worry about that. But I think we are moving forward. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of the India, and will stay as an integral part of the India. and they will be one of the state of the India. So I think everything is moving along in good space and with the satisfaction of the people of the Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir.
So as we speak, just a news update coming from Jammu and Kashmir, which is not in the positive direction. Jammu Kashmir police inspector shot dead by terrorists in Srinagar. And once again, everyone wants peace and harmony, but there are elements which do not want that to happen. Shifting gears and coming towards COVID-19 and countermeasures to check it. On 21st June, as Prime Minister have now taken back the operation of vaccination. So record number of Indians were vaccinated on 21st June, which was more than 80 lakh or reaching to 90 lakh, etc. But as I talk to you, we are listening from the Health Minister of India about another challenge with Delta variant. What can you say about the concern from Delta variant in India?
Well, I mean, always any virus, viral epidemic or pandemic, if you do not vaccinate at least 60-70% of the population, the virus changes its tune and it becomes variant. And therefore, we have concern that if we do not vaccinate at least 60-70% of the Indian population, in short time, next couple of months or 2-3 months, then I think the concern about Delta variant is very serious and very realistic, and that may lead to again another mayhem and a lot of sickness and a lot of deaths of the young people and the old people.
So we need to be careful, and things are opening up well in America. There have been some interactions between Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well as President Biden and Vice President, which have some Indian connection. Moving forward, as someone who has been a founder for Indian American Caucus, do you see that we are back to a rhythm of understanding in terms of India and America under new leadership here?
Yes, definitely. Biden administration is trying to, I mean, the way they are responding to India's concern and the issues, I think they are in the right direction, and they will be in right direction, and hopefully because India needs USA's help in certain sectors, and USA needs India as a largest middle class economy, which USA can sell their goods into. And so it's a win-win situation for both the country to have very cooperative and good relations and help each other to go forward and flourish the economy, both of USA as well as of India.
And now, towards the concluding part of our conversation today, I take you back to West Bengal, where High Court in Kolkata has given green signal to the Human Rights Commission to come and have an independent investigation, which was objected to by Mamata Banerjee government. Your take on this scenario and development?
Well, any violence is not acceptable, whether it is political violence or it is otherwise, and investigation should be done. And if investigator finds whoever is guilty, they should be punished, prosecuted to the extent of the law. And I think what Supreme Court has ordered, is a correct thing, and it is good for democracy. And let's see, and let's find out what's what, who is right, who is wrong, and why.
Absolutely. And just a minute that we have, I seek your input on the way COVID-19 has impacted the potential of UP Chief Minister in the upcoming nearby state election? Do you see him losing his ground because of the handling of COVID?
Well, I mean, there is always possibility. But I think hopefully if there is enough vaccination happens, there is enough people gets vaccination faster. And if COVID, that's only way to control the COVID pandemic. And if it happens, then within next 2-3 months or 4 months, then people will forgive whatever shortcoming was there during second wave, and they may vote, or they will vote Adityanath government back in the power.
Absolutely. And your concluding remarks from today's session for our viewers?
Well, I think again, I would suggest to all friends here in America that please go and get your vaccination if you have not done so. Vaccination is only way to protect yourself, protect other people, and end this pandemic. The same thing, please call your relatives, friends, and other acquaintances in India. To convince them, tell them to please that all the vaccines are safe, very effective, and they should get vaccinated. Sooner is better for everyone, not only for India, but whole world. So please do so. Thank you for joining this week with us. We'll see you next time. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. God bless America. God bless India. And God bless Indian American community. Jai Hind.